Welcome to the Full-Time FBA Show. In each episode, it's our goal to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income selling almost anything on Amazon. And now, your hosts of the show, Stephen and Rebecca Smotherman.
Welcome to episode number 251 of the Full-Time FBA Show. Today, we're going to talk about how Amazon FBA can create certainty in an uncertain business world. And we've been looking forward to talking to you about this episode. And I've pulled in my favorite person to talk with us. Rebecca, how you doing?
Doing good. I'm glad I'm your favorite person to talk with since I do co-host this show with you.
That's true.
You make it sound like you brought me in for this.
I convinced her to be on the
episode.
show.
Yeah, you convinced me. Actually, you kind of did. When we started this podcast, I was like, a podcast? But it's been going pretty well. We've been going for a few years now.
This podcast would not be good if it was just me. I can say that right now. You just bring... It's perfect. It's perfect now.
We are certain about that. In an uncertain business world, we are certain that the podcast is better because there's two of us talking.
Yep. So let's stop talking the introduction and get to the good stuff. So let's do this right now on the Full-Time FBA Show.
Before we get into our topic today, I want to let you know if you're listening to this podcast episode when it drops, the replays for our 5-day Amazon Income Accelerator workshop are only available for a short time. They'll be coming down from our website in the next few days, so you want to be sure and check them out soon. You can see those replays at fulltimefba.com/replays. And you can get the workbook that goes along with the workshop at fulltimefba.com/workbook. You'll also want to join us this night. If you're listening to this the day that it drops, tonight is Monday, July 29th, and we'll be having a bonus session to the workshop. It's going to be a live co-working session where Stephen will walk you through a worksheet and help you plan out your next, or possibly your first, sourcing session for your FBA business. You do not want to miss this time. You will walk away from this bonus session with valuable work done on your business, and it will help you take important next steps in building up your profitable FBA business. So be sure and join us tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. The link for that goes live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. It's fulltimefba.com/final. Okay, now let's get into the meat of what we're all here to discuss and learn about today, how building an Amazon business can help us create certainty in an uncertain business world.
And this is seriously the good stuff. It's what I love talking about. I mean, I've been selling on Amazon for over a decade, and I still get excited about just the amazing opportunity of building a business through Amazon FBA, where you can outsource the most mundane parts of the work of the business, and you can create your own schedule. You can scale your business to the level that you want to see it working for you. It's pretty awesome. You know, some sellers, they choose to operate their FBA business as a side hustle. And that is an awesome goal to have and be able to do that on the side. Others want to build it into a multi-million-dollar operation with multiple employees. There's a whole spectrum. Then you can pick which place and which type of focus works best for you, because others like Rebecca and I, we like to build it where it provides a solid full-time income where we can control the times of the year that we really want to work hard at it, bring in lots of money to fund our financial dreams, and then other times take breaks from the work during the times of the year that we decide to do that. In fact, recently I took a break to go to the baseball all-star game, and I didn't ask for my boss's permission to take off work. I just was able to go and see the All-Stars, and it was awesome.
Well, you sort of asked because I had to give you the go-ahead on that.
That's true. You are my boss.
And I'm the boss.
Yes.
But it was a much easier process than if you had another boss besides, the two of us.
Exactly. Yes.
So I think what you're getting at here at the start is a good place to bring in our first point. There's an amazing opportunity to create certainty in your business right now, even though the economy feels uncertain, and a lot of other things actually going on in the world feel uncertain. But right now, the stability and growth of Amazon is relatively certain compared to all the other instability in the world. Other industries and other companies may be struggling. There's many families that seem to be struggling financially, but Amazon is growing, and they're growing steadily. Amazon Inc. continues to report just mind-blowing growth in sales, and I'll put this link in the show notes of their news release about their most recent Q4 sales results. But in 2023, they reported that net sales increased 14% from the previous Q4. They reported 170 billion with a big fat B. $170 billion in sales in Q4 of 2023. For the entire year of 2023, their net sales increased 12% to $574.8 billion. Y'all, that's $500 billion in 1 year. That's bonkers. And I want to be a part of that, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I mean, I know the focus of our recent workshop this past week has been boosting your side hustle of selling on Amazon via FBA. And I know we've got a lot of people who come to us as new students and they've tried their hand at other side hustle type businesses, particularly MLMs or multi-level marketing, network marketing, direct sales, whatever you want to call it. And so many of those types of businesses are just a flash in the pan. So many of those parent companies have gone under in recent years. In fact, there's a recent article in the New York Times about how Beauty Counter, a really popular cosmetics MLM company, their business over the last several years has just tanked. And a lot of people lost a lot of their income that they worked really hard to build up. And then suddenly it was just gone because a new CEO ran the company into the ground. And that's that's scary to think about this type of stuff happening with a business that you're investing your precious time and money and effort in. And Rebecca and I, we just continue to invest our time and our money into Amazon FBA because we see the stability and the growth of Amazon as a company. It's just not stopping. It just continues to be stable and growing, and it's not going to be stopping anytime in the near future either.
Aside from the stability of Amazon, just e-commerce as an industry continues to grow. We've all heard the statistics both before and after the pandemic about how before 2020, e-commerce was steadily rising as a percentage of overall retail sales. And then once COVID hit, people really started buying online in numbers that are mind-blowing. I'll post a link in the show notes to an article from Forbes Insider with a ton of statistics. But here's a couple that really stood out to me. In 2024, 20.1% of retail purchases are expected to take place online. And that number is expected to grow to 23% by 2027. We already looked at how much Amazon sales have grown in recent years, and these projections show it isn't stopping anytime soon. Another statistic that really hit me was that 24% of online shoppers abandon their cart because they find out the shipping time will be too slow. I know I've done that before. I don't want this if I'm not going to get it in a certain time frame. So what does that mean for me as an FBA seller? Well, Amazon has a reputation for 1 or 2 day or even same day shipping. And they've built that reputation for this exact reason, because they know that customers expect their items to arrive super fast in 2024. And they don't want their customers to abandon their cart. So one of the reasons that we sell via Amazon FBA is that our items will be at the Amazon warehouse waiting to be purchased, and then they're ready to be shipped as fast as possible to prime customers.
And along those lines, here's another reason building an FBA business gives us certainty in an uncertain business world is just the sheer number of Amazon customers guarantees a massive opportunity to sell products and make a profit in the years to come. Amazon does not release their exact numbers of customers or Prime members, but they are estimated to have over 310 million active users worldwide. That's 310 plus million people who are coming to the website, Amazon, on a regular basis to make purchases. And not all of those 310 million people are looking for the exact products that you might sell, but the odds are pretty high. I mean, if you've got quality inventory in stock, your products are going to be in front of thousands or millions of eyeballs, and you're going to get significantly higher number of sales than you would if you use any other e-commerce platform that are out there. So selling through Amazon FBA brings you a level of certainty that you are going to have much more visibility and much more presence in the search results than you would anywhere else on the internet. If you know how to find good, fast-selling, profitable inventory, you can list it on Amazon and trust their search engine to do its job and bring you the customers that you need for those steady sales. We talked a lot in our workshop recently this past week about finding that kind of inventory, the tools you need to use. In particular, we talked about using Keepa and finding inventory to make smart sourcing decisions. You can check out the workshop for more details, or you can check out our Keepa course. We'll put that link of the course in our show notes, fulltimefba.com/251. We'll probably even throw in a coupon code for our podcast listeners in those show notes for that Keep a Course.
So we've thrown a lot of statistics at you in this episode, and believe it or not, we pared down the number of statistics that we included here. There are just so many mind-boggling numbers associated with how massive Amazon is as a company and the type of sales that they've done on their website. But what does all this have to do with you as an FBA seller? That's the main point that we want you to take away from this. First, if you are an FBA seller, you have access to all of those customers that we were just talking about. You have the ability to put your products in front of all those eyeballs. You have an awesome opportunity to be part of this massive e-commerce platform.
Second, if you're selling via Amazon FBA, you can be a part of the growth that Amazon is experiencing quarter after quarter, year after year. You can be part of that growth that they're expected to have over the next several years, and you can build your business and scale it to the level that you want it to be and experience a level of certainty in your business when other people in other industries are simply struggling with the uncertainty of the economy and the world in general.
And one last thing we want to point out. As an FBA seller, you have control over your own business, and that is a hugely freeing feeling in an economy that feels so uncertain. When you look around and you see friends and family losing their job or having their hours scaled back or just not making enough money even though they're working 60 plus hours a week, and it just seems like they can't make their financial goals or they're drowning in debt, you can experience a measure of freedom and empowerment when you're the one running your business. When you are in control of scaling it to the point where it will meet your goals and help you achieve your dreams. You aren't beholden to a CEO who doesn't always make decisions that you agree with. You aren't having to worry about how you're ever going to save for retirement because you don't even have enough to pay for your current responsibilities. These are all things that we worried about in the past, but as our FBA business has grown, we've been able to scale it, outsource so many aspects of it, and get it to the point where we're meeting our financial goals, able to give generously, and feel really good about how we are in charge of all of that. It truly is empowering.
Absolutely. And before we go, I just want to acknowledge that even though it's empowering to be the one in charge of your own business and create your own certainty, it can also be kind of scary. I mean, it's intimidating to think about being the one responsible for every aspect of your business's success and what that means for your own success and your family's livelihood. And we want to help you with that. We want to be there to walk you through the process of building your business and making it profitable. And that's why the Full-Time FBA coaching program is here and what it's all about. We want to give you the courses and the resources and give you a game plan for getting your business to the level you want. Whether you want a solid side hustle income stream or a full-time income stream in part-time hours, we want you to be a part of our coaching program. So check it out, fulltimefba.com/coaching to see if you're a good fit for our program.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. As a reminder, the show notes and all of the links we mentioned, which there were quite a few in this episode, we've got some great articles linked for you this time around. You can find them at fulltimefba.com/251 because we're on episode number 251.
And next week on the Full-Time FBA Show, we're going to talk about the blueprint for growing a well-balanced Amazon business. We can't wait to get into that with you next week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
That's all for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. So head over to fulltimefba.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes and links from this episode. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter where you'll get several free downloads of our popular and helpful Amazon FBA resources. Now, take action on what you've learned today so you can find success at turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA.